It's not in my blood to just lay down.
Best TV Westerns. Today I'm going to take a look at TV Westerns that many of us grew up with and fed our hunger for Western stories, with all their heroes, villains, and wholesome values. I will focus on those from the 20th century, where these series began and set the standards going forward. I'm using IMDB as a rating system to develop this list. Otherwise, there are few ways other than personal opinion that can possibly take the many series and cut them down to a workable list. We all have our favourites. If you enjoy this video, hit the notification button to get my new videos. If you want to check out my many other videos, head over to my channel. The link is in the description. Let's get into it. The Rifleman, 1958 to 1963. The adventures of a Wild West rancher, wielding a customised, rapid-fire Winchester rifle, and his son. In the pilot, originally written for Gunsmoke, 1955, Chuck Connor's character was named John McCain. He had no children, and he was a dead shot with a pistol. Arnold Levin decided to make McCain a widower with a son, whose weapon of choice was a customised Winchester rifle. In an interview, Levin said that the rifle Chuck Connors used was the same one used by John Wayne in Stagecoach, 1939. Cast: Chuck Connors, Johnny Crawford, Paul Fix, Joe Benson.
I can hit the bullseye, but I can hit the bullshit.
Chuck, it's 20 minutes after 6 and Jules has pulled the switch.
You mean we can't do any more? I just read that one
We have to go
improperly.
on.
That was it wrong, wasn't it? Or did it still play? Seriously.
Can't go
Give me a
on.
kiss, baby.
Maverick, 1957 to 1962. Brett and Bart Maverick are well-dressed gamblers who migrate from town to town, always looking for a good game. Sir Roger Moore left the series over what he felt was a decline in script quality. Moore said that if the scripts would have been like the Garner scripts from the earlier seasons, he would have been glad to stay. Jack Kelly was the only Maverick star to appear in all 5 seasons of the series. Sir Sean Connery was originally offered the role of Beauregard, Beau Maverick, but turned it down. As a sign of things to come, Sir Roger Moore once again replaced Connery years later in the James Bond franchise. Cast: Jack Kelly, James Garner, Roger Moore, Lane Chandler.
I hope you fully realize that Pearly Gates got that nickname from a phony tie Penny wears, not from his chances.
Gunsmoke, 1955 to 1975. Marshal Matt Dillon keeps the peace in rough and tumble Dodge City. Dennis Weaver stated in his commentary about his time on this show that he seriously regretted giving Chester his limp. He hadn't realised how much work it would become to maintain everything Chester did. Denver Pyle and Raymond Burr were considered for the role of Matt Dillon. Pyle would appear as different characters in 14 episodes from Season 2 through Season 18. Cast: James Arness, Milburn Stone, Amanda Blake, Ken Curtis, Dennis Weaver.
All right, Festus. First we got a man.
The Wild Wild West, 1965 to 1969. 2 Secret Service agents, equipped with a wide variety of gizmos, work for the government in the Old West. The show was originally titled The Wild West, but was renamed when it was decided that The Wild Wild West sounded better. Michael Garrison, the creator of the series, died during the 2nd season when he slipped on a spilled drink on his new marble staircase in his new home and fell down the stairs to his death. Robert Conrad, 5'8", wore 3-inch heels as Jim West. The CBS casting office had orders not to hire any women over 5'6" for the show. Cast: Robert Conrad, Ross Martin, Dick Cangy, Whitney Hughes.
Stop playing cowboy.
At least you've been keeping yourself busy.
Oh, whatever inequities possess my soul, idleness is not one of them. Oh, gentlemen, come in. I must take this off.
Lawman, 1958 to 1962. This is the story of Marshal Dan Troop of Laramie, Wyoming, and his deputy, Johnny McKay. An orphan troop took under his wing. John Russell based his character, Dantro, on an officer he knew when he served in the US Marines. In order to attract more female viewers in Season 2, the producers started having Peter Brown leave his shirt unbuttoned. This was the only Warner Brothers Western of the late 1950s to early 1960s that did not have a crossover from one of the other show's stars. Cast: John Russell, Peter Brown, Peggy Castle, Emil Avery. Rawhide, 1959 to 1965. Gil Favor is the trail boss of a continuous cattle drive. He is assisted by Rowdy Yates. The crew runs into characters and adventures along the way. Clint Eastwood used the same gun and wore the same boots as in his spaghetti westerns A Fistful of Dollars, For a Few Dollars More, and The Good, the Bad and the Ugly. He also wore those same boots in Unforgiven. Eric Fleming drowned in Peru while filming a movie. He was 41. Cast: Clint Eastwood, Paul Brinegar, Steve Raines, Eric Fleming. Cheyenne, 1955 to 1963. After the Civil War, nomadic adventurer Cheyenne Bodie roamed the West looking for fights, bad guys to beat up, and women. His job changed from episode to episode. Cheyenne gets his name from the Cheyenne Indians, who killed his parents, but then took him in and raised him. This was US television's first hour-long Western. Cheyenne starts out with a sidekick named Smitty, played by L.Q. Jones. He was dropped after 3 episodes, and Cheyenne went the rest of the way alone. Cast: Clint Walker, Clyde Howdy, Chuck Hicks, Lane Chandler.
Their right hand.
Right.
Now wait. Go. Come on, Homer.
Go on, Homer. Bust it off. Bust it clean off. Go on. Go on.
Wanted, Dead or Alive, 1958 to 1961. A Civil War veteran with a sawed-off rifle as a holster weapon makes a living as a bounty hunter in the Wild West of the 1870s. Steve McQueen's characterization of a sympathetic bounty hunter was first tested in an episode of the Western series Trackdown, 1957, which starred Robert Culp as a Texas Ranger. The Marsleg weapon carried by Josh Randall, Steve McQueen, is a cut-down Winchester model 1892 carbine in .44-40 caliber, but the bullets in his cartridge belt are .45-70 caliber rounds used in the larger, more powerful rifles of the day. Cast: Steve McQueen, Wright King, Olin Soul, Mort Mills. Laramie, 1959 to 1963. In the 1870s Wyoming Territory, Slim Sherman and his 14-year-old brother Andy tried to hang on to their ranch after their father's death. The show was huge in Japan. It got a whopping 43% rating and became one of the most successful American television series. When Robert Fuller went to Japan in 1961, about 100,000 fans welcomed him at Haneda Airport. The first episode was broadcast in color. The rest of seasons 1 and 2 were in black and white. Color started regularly in Season 3. This show referred to Native Americans or the American Indians as Red Sticks. Cast: Robert Fuller, John Smith, Spring Byington, Dennis Holmes. The Texan, 1958 to 1960. The Texan, a Civil War veteran whose reputation of being the fastest gun in the West precedes him, roams across Texas from town to town, not looking for trouble, but trouble finds him. Notorious underworld and crime figure Billy, the Texan, Longley from Melbourne, Australia, gained the nickname from the TV show The Texan, about a man called Longley with a similar liking for Colt .45 pistols. William Preston, Wild Bill, Longley, was a real person. He was a gunfighter and a murderer that was known for being a liar, bigot and thief. Only Hollywood could make him into a hero. He was hung in Nacogdoches, Texas, in 1878 after being captured in Keechee, Louisiana. Cast: Rory Calhoun, Regis Parton, Duncan Lamont, James Drake. Before we wrap up here today, I wanted to mention some honourable mentions. Here we go. The Virginian, 1962 to 1971. The Big Valley, 1965 to 1969. The High Chaparral, 1967 to 1971. Wagon Train, 1957 to 1965. Little House on the Prairie, 1974 to 1983. And Death Valley Days, 1952 to 1970. I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know what you think in the comments. I appreciate your likes and subscribers. Hit the notification button to get my new videos. Take a look at my channel and check out my Facebook page. The links are in the description. I am Wrangler. Bye for now. See you again soon.
Interesting facts about famous people.